Hi, this is Tom CEO with um, I'm doing a video here telling you about my fantasy football picks for this week. This is for FanDuel. All right, this is for the first week of the 2015 season. And basically what I've done here is I've downloaded all the players from FanDuel and I've given them all a rating for this week. Basically, three is highlighted in yellow. Those are the players that I like. Um, uh, Two is like for average. Those are players that that are good. If they you could pick them, but they're probably not the best values. One is players that I don't really like for this week, and then zero are players that are just absolutely don't touch. Those are players like Jordy Nelson and players that I've never even heard of. Okay, so let's start this here. Basically, it starts out with the defense, and on here is the teams that I like this week are the Jets, the Broncos, and the Texans. Um, the Jets are playing Cleveland. Lousy offense, good defense, 4,400, not a bad value. The Broncos, they're pretty cheap this week. I like the defense. Baltimore is not a horrible offense, but I'm not really afraid of them either. And then Houston, obviously a really good defense, and playing Kansas City, who's okay as well. Um, so those are the teams that I like this week. The other teams that you could go with that are not bad, obviously Seattle, but they're the most expensive. Playing St. Louis, not a great offense. Carolina against Jacksonville. Obviously, you like teams playing Jacksonville, although I don't think they might not be so bad this year. Um, and even Miami against Washington. Um, those are not bad, but those are the top. Those are the three most expensive defenses. Um, the teams that I don't like are, remember, San Francisco is not the same defense as they were, so I gave them a one, and some others. So let's move on to kickers. Nothing much there. I highlighted the Philadelphia kicker. I think they'll have a good offense, but he's probable with his leg. Um, and then Denver, obviously Denver out in that air. The kicker is a little cheaper. So those are the kickers that I like. Won't spend too much time on kickers. All right, let's scroll down some more. All right, let's get to the quarterbacks. Here we go now. All right, so I have five quarterbacks that I like this week. Um, the most expensive one among them is the first two you can see are from the same game. It's Tony Romo and Eli Manning who are playing each other. Um, I like them both. I expect a shootout. Neither defense is that great. Dallas's, I think, will be pretty bad. Unfortunately, I'm a Cowboys fan. Um, so I like both of those quarterbacks. Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer was really good last year while he was while he was playing, and they're playing New Orleans. I still don't expect them to have a great defense. Um, and then Sam Bradford. Uh, I'm a believer, and based on the preseason and the Philadelphia offense, uh, the other quarterbacks they've had have all done well. Nick Foles did well, even Mark Sanchez did well. So I think Sam Bradford will do well. And then if you want to take a flyer, real cheap one, and I don't think I don't think they're going to be too bad offensively this year. Is Derek Carr of Oakland? Um, playing out in Oakland, Cincinnati's going out there. I think that's worth a shot if you're really taking a flyer. Um, Aaron Rodgers is obviously a great quarterback, but he's the most expensive one, and without Jordy Nelson and even Randall Cobb might not even be playing, or if he is, he's going to be banged up. So I don't think he's worth the risk even playing against Chicago. I don't think it's great value. Same, Andrew Luck playing a pretty good defense. At Buffalo. Then Peyton Manning. Uh, I want to see how much they're going to run the ball this year. Uh, Russell Wilson, he's expensive for a guy who doesn't throw the ball all that much, even though he's got Jimmy Graham this year. Um, and then Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's pretty good. I think they could do well against Philadelphia. Let's see. So those are the quarterbacks. Um, let's scroll down here. Any quarterbacks that I didn't really like? Joe Flacco, I don't really like going against Denver. And Alex Smith, don't really like him too much in fantasy at all. Okay, let's move on to running backs. All right. So the running backs that I like, let's see how many there are. There are about 8 or 9. Jeremy Hill against Oakland. Jeremy Hill finished up the year great last year, playing against Oakland. Not a great defense. I like him. DeMarco Murray playing against Atlanta's defense, which is pretty bad. Again, the Philadelphia offense, I think, will be good. He's not going to get as many carries as he did last year with the Cowboys, but that might not be such a bad thing. Eddie Lacy. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers has some injury problems at wide receiver this year, or right now at least. And I think Eddie Lacy against that Chicago defense should be good. Again, I like the Raiders. Latavius Murray. I think again, he could have a good week against the Bengals. Lamar Miller. I like him against Washington. Um, I think maybe they might be getting the ball in some good situations with Kirk Cousins screwing up at quarterback. Jonathan Stewart again, who is Cam Newton going to be throwing the ball to? I don't know. So I think they'll be handing it off, and Jacksonville is always a team to pick players against. I like a couple of New York running backs. I like Rashad Jennings again against the Dallas defense. I don't like them, unfortunately. And I like Chris Ivory. I don't think the Jets offense is so bad this year, especially with Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback as opposed to Geno Smith. So I think against Cleveland, I think he's pretty cheap. That's a pretty good deal. And then a guy to take a shot on is Amir Abdullah of Detroit. He's pretty cheap right now. Going against San Diego, not a great defense, not a bad defense, but nothing to be scared of. He could be a guy that breaks out. Let's see here. The guys that I didn't pick who are good. Adrian Peterson, of course, he's the top guy. Jamal Charles, playing against Houston. Don't love it. Not worth the value. Marshawn Lynch, not bad, but St. Louis's defense is pretty good. So those are some of the two guys. Danny Woodhead isn't too bad of a play this week. Let's see. And anybody good that I don't like? I didn't really like C.J. Anderson going against Baltimore this week. Even though he's good. LaShawn McCoy is banged up, so don't take a chance on him this week. And Matt Forte, I don't really like this year. Um, so those are the ones that I'm going with there, the guys that I don't really like. Let's move on down to tight end. So now we got tight ends here. We got I got four guys that I like again, and you'll see here it's the same as I like the two tight ends from the Cowboys Giants game. I like Jason Witten, and I like Larry Donald. Larry Donald's real is pretty cheap there. Again, both defenses are bad. I'll take a chance on Kyle Rudolph. He's pretty cheap against San Francisco. Again, not the great defense that it once was. And then a real cheap option is Tyler Eifert. Again, against Oakland, not a great defense there. So let's see. I gotta finish this up soon here. And now we're going to go to wide receiver. And I got about 8 or 9 guys here. Like Julio Jones against Philadelphia again, but he's the top. Even though he's expensive, I got a few expensive guys here. Odell Beckham Jr. and Dez Bryant again. I've mentioned that before. Okay, Calvin Johnson. He's cheaper than he's been in recent years. You know, out in San Diego, don't love it, but he's, cheaper than he's been. AJ Green is not all that expensive, considering he's AJ Green going against Oakland. All right, and then some cheaper guys here. Allen Robinson. He's pretty good. He's pretty cheap there too. John Brown. Again, he did well when Carson Palmer was in there at quarterback. Devontae Adams, like I said, with Randall Cobb being banged up and Jordy Nelson out, this could be his week to do really well. A guy that I like this year and like him this week is Nelson Aguilar of Philadelphia. He's real cheap. And then I think one of the real cheapest guys here worth a fly is Eddie Royal of Chicago against Green Bay. And then you have the top guys there, Demaryius Thomas and where did it go? Where did the receivers go? Demaryius Thomas and other guys. Is there any guys that I don't really like? Well, I don't like Randall Cobb because he's banged up. So let me show you who I've actually picked. Those are the guys that I liked, and here's my actual picks for this week. So I went with the Jets. I went with Brandon McManus at kicker. Went with Eli Manning, Eddie Lacy, Rashad Jennings, Tyler Eifert, Odell Beckham Jr., AJ Green, and Devontae Adams, and that brings me right at the 60 million there. And so basically, I'm going to be doing this every week for the year. I hope you like it. Basically, this is for the FanDuel, so I'm going to do one for DraftKings as well, and I'm going to try and pick, different players for each one. So, yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks. Bye.